Right. So, good evening, Colonel Pranay. We welcome you to our forum on Parijay Genus, where we are bringing in all people on a common platform with a progressive mindset. And we would like to have your perspective of what freedom means to you, whether as a soldier or as a human being. So, we'd like to have your insight on what you feel freedom is. Pranay, could you unmute yourself and
So sorry, Seema,
yes.
when you asked me the question for the first time, actually that was the time I started wondering actually what does freedom mean to me actually. उससे
Right.
पहले कभी I had never even given thought to it. So as I realized, my paternal grandfather,
Yes.
he was in Azad Hind Sena mein the,
जी.
and I remember my grandmother telling me post 1945.
Right.
She started wearing a white sari because she thought, he's dead. And in
Okay.
1948, somehow from somewhere he turned back and came to our village. And that is how my father was born later on. So
Okay.
then when I just reflect back on it, and after 20 years of serving in the army,
Right.
for me, I think that freedom is something, for which you need to pay some price.
Right.
You need to pay some price. So sometimes the price for a soldier or even for any citizen of the country, is he has to pay price. His comforts level have to go down, or sometimes like in army, maybe
Right.
you have to give ultimate sacrifice. And so
Absolutely.
many people do have given sacrifice for the nation.
Right.
So that is one thing. So what I consider is freedom is not free. One has to give a lot of sacrifice for that. Yes, some people give more sacrifice than others, but then the others are contributing in their own way.
Right.
I guess it that suits you.
Right. So, what is your individual perspective apart from being a soldier? You're a human being, you're a father, you're a spouse, you're a son. And also, इंसानी तौर पे आपको किन लोगों के लिए फ्रीडम क्या मायने रखता है? Do you have a personal ideology that everyone should have this kind of a freedom? ऐसा कुछ है that you want to share with us?
Yeah, Seema, I think it's a very good question. Whatever profession you are in, you're also father, brother,
Right.
son to someone. So being in army, I've got a lot of opportunities to travel abroad, and especially in those countries where our army has been helping them. And most of these countries, Seema, it's and for rest of you also, they are those countries. They are very, very poor. Say right from Bhutan to many countries in Africa.
Right.
When you go in those countries, or even like I've stayed almost for 1.5 years in US also. So when you go over those countries, then you realize the amount of freedom that we get in India. Actually, you can do anything. Red light is also just a suggestion for us. We have to stop or you don't have to stop. It's just a suggestion for us. So what I feel is freedom is an opportunity given to an individual wherein he can express himself, he can progress, he has got an opportunity to excel, he's got opportunity to achieve something good, or what we can say is it gives you a right, freedom gives you a right to pursue a path of happiness. It's such a thing that nobody realizes it till the time you lose your freedom. I mean, it is so taken for granted. We take it so much for granted that we don't realize it. So all these aspects, my daughter studying in school, she's getting more opportunity to excel. That is a freedom for me. My wife taking up a job or not taking up a job, staying at home or going wherever she wants, that is a freedom for her. And for me, even if I'm in field, if my family is secure back home, that's a big freedom for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So wonderfully put. So actually, if you look at it, people don't value freedom till they realize that they are a captive of something. It could be anything. It could be a thought process. It could be a syndrome, not just, somebody's colonial rule like before. So you could be a captive of anything, your own thoughts, your own mindset, your maybe, a captive of the societal mindset. So I think basically that was a wonderful thing that you have stated out here. So would you like to add
Thank you.
on to it?
Yeah, Seema. So sometimes when I come back on leave, which I hardly get, in a year, if I get 30 odd days is good enough for me. Sometimes when we go out and we see people being brash, people not valuing their life, people not valuing their relations, people not thanking God for whatever gifts they have got. Somehow I feel at some point of time or another, we must, like what you are doing today, some kind
Yes.
of initiative must be taken, and people must realize that how much free we are, how much freedom we have got, how much liberties do we have.
Right.
The day that dawns upon us, that day our nation will become very, very strong. I'm sorry, I'm being too idealistic, but
No,
that is how it needs to happen. That is how it needs to happen.
Right.
Yes, freedom of thoughts and expression, what you have said is absolutely right. Purely, I have been boarded in such a manner. Whenever I think of freedom, I think only from, protecting our citizens
A soldier's
from the foreigners.
perspective. Yes.
Yeah, that is
Right.
how it comes.
Right.
That intellectual stimulating thoughts that you are putting across, it will take some time for me to absorb.
I think it was done ages ago, decades ago when our constitution was written. So it's
Yes,
a constitutional right to, to talk what you
Absolutely.
think about and
Absolutely,
speak about
absolutely.
it. So
Yeah, I
Absolutely,
also
absolutely.
totally agree with Colonel Pawar that freedom is not just from the external enemies, it is from the internal also. We are
Absolutely.
fighting, we are, right now, I think we have to protect ourselves from our internal battles.
yeah,
We should
right.
value the life. Not me
Yep.
first. It should be what can we do for the others, for our surroundings. It's not only the humans or something, it's for everything. Everything, the ecosystem is the complete system. We are just a part of, we humans are just a part of ecosystem. So everything is related to that. So we alone cannot survive, and we have to me first. We have to grow from this thinking of me first.
In the meantime, I would like to welcome Major Sanjay. Major
Hi,
Sanjay,
ma'am.
good
Good
evening
evening.
to
How are
you.
you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much, Major.
Everybody,
Welcome to
good
our
evening.
forum.
Good evening, Sanjay. How are you?
Sir, good evening, sir. I'm good, sir. Thank you so much. How are you, sir?
All well, all well.
Sir.
Right. So, Colonel, would you like to add on something, or I wouldn't like to hold you back since you have a meeting to go to?
Yeah, I would just like to add to what
Yes.
she said earlier.
Right.
Again, what happens is it's just a matter of realization. Freedom is not only for me, but entire ecosystem as such. Nobody is subservient to any other sub part of the ecosystem. But
Right.
it will take. I think it will take lots and lots of time for us to realize that. Whether I have gone through what you do, and wonderfully, plantation drives and all those things. Actually, it will take a lot of time. As of now, we are in very low in the Maslow's law of hierarchy. People are
Right.
just fighting for their bread and butter. But as
Exactly.
the hierarchy increases, I think as a nation we'll understand. Everybody needs to be protected. Everybody needs to have their own freedom,
Right.
and we must coexist happily with each other.
That's so wonderfully put. I think exactly like I would like to reiterate what you said, that everyone needs their own freedom. And I think as India is struggling to make their bread and butter, so that realization of, going internally and finding out what freedom means will take a time. But I guess those who have already realized, those who have the awareness, I guess we can help the other people to bring about that awareness. And I think you're doing a splendid job in the valley out there with the public. So
Thank you,
I think
Seema. Thank
it's
you
a
so
three
much.
cheers to the army. They're doing such wonderful thing, Major Sanjay, and even off his army duty, towards the COVID. As a COVID warrior, he's done a splendid job. Whether it being even the Clean Ganga project that they did last year, I think you guys are amazing. The kind of work that you do and the contribution you give to the society, so that we have the freedom of, a good environment. We have the freedom where we walk free without, worrying about our lives. So we owe it big time to you guys for protecting us, protecting our environment, protecting our interests. So I would like to take this honor from on behalf of Parijay to thank Major Sanjay and Colonel Pawar. Thank
you
you
so
all
much, Seema.
so
Thank
much
you.
for
Just
everything.
moving on.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much for your cameo role, whatever. You took some time out for us. We owe it to you also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Jay. See you, Sanjay. Take care.
Jain sir. Jain sir.
Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
Yes.
Thank you so much. May I, Seema,
Thank
if you don't mind?
Yes, please.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
was ours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Parijay.
Thank you.
Right. So that was a short cameo session by Colonel Pawar. Heading on to our next session, we warmly welcome Major Sanjay.
Hello, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be associated
Yes,
with you,
it's a
ma'am.
pleasure to have you with us, sir.
Likewise, ma'am. Likewise.
Right.
Can
So
you
to
see
my
me? I'm so
audience,
sorry to ask you. I
yes,
can't see
please.
myself, so it's good that you all can see me.
We can't see you too.
Oh, really?
Yes, your
Just
video is not visible to us.
why it is so. Give me a moment to just figure it out, ma'am.
Well, you could anyway try logging out and logging in again. Probably that would help.
Yep.
Okay, yes. Now you're visible.
Yes.
So let me take this forward to my audience. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Parijay Genus. I'm your host, Seema Sharif, a relationship and emotional intelligence coach, an effective communications trainer, and a content writer by passion. So Parijay Genus has brought about this initiative of bringing together progressive-minded and conscious people on a common platform to share their views on the eve of 75th Indian Independence Day and celebrate freedom in its true spirit. So let me introduce Major Sanjay, who's with us. He's a director of Nova Cosmetics and also attached to the Indian Territorial Army. Major Sanjay, you are an industrialist by profession and a soldier by passion. So you exercised your freedom to choose a meaningful purpose of serving the country. So what were the factors or the factor behind that choice?
First of all, good evening to everyone who's been on the air and listening to us. It's a pleasure to be on the show, which has been hosted by Seema and Ms. Ekta, who has been doing a wonderful job. And coming back to the question which you had asked me, Seema, an industry, the work which I do is for my living or it's my journey. But joining the army, wanting my life by following my passion to it that I could get enlisted into the territorial army by going through
Right.
all 3 exams. Because as a
Right.
childhood, when I wanted to join the army, my parents did not allow me to join. So getting
Right.
an opportunity in the later years of life through the territorial army, I said, let me give it a shot and I would not like to leave this opportunity which has come through.
Right.
And I gave it and I was lucky enough with the God's blessing that I got selected in the very first attempt of which I give a
Wonderful. That was a wonderful thing. Right.
thank you.
So freedom is a right that everyone is entitled to. I'm sure you'll agree.
Absolutely right.
So what is your take on freedom? You could talk about it from your perspective of any angle in life.
Wow. That's a lovely question. What is freedom?
Yes.
And I would just like to put it in one single word is that freedom is to do something what you desire to do without a fear. I think if you have no fear in doing anything what you do, wish to do, anything in this world, like even walking or crossing down the streets, or giving your exams, anything, it's to do something without fear. I feel that is freedom and independence to me in any form. And I think we exercise it every now and then in every day of our life. The time the way you have fear in your mind, I think you are asking yourself a question: am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing?
Right.
So freedom is something, doing something without any fear. And it could
Right.
be, defined in many other ways, which could be, what Sir had just mentioned, Colonel Pawar has rightly put. A fear, a independence, or a freedom is different to a different person.
Right.
And it will vary, and it does vary as per the situations which you are in.
Right. Absolutely. So I think the valid point that you made was the fear factor. Freedom is where you make a choice without the fear.
That's right, ma'am.
Right. So with the present Indian mindset where people would want to exercise freedom, I think it's the fear concept that grips them, where they don't have a freedom of choice, whether it be with regarding to their education, especially when it comes to the female gender, or whether it comes to the choice of choosing their spouse, or whether it comes to the choice of making the right career path, or like how you said, you were not allowed by your parents in the initial years. So once you attained a certain status in your own life where you could make your own decisions and you don't have to fall back on your parents, you made a conscious choice of joining the army.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely right.
So what is it that you would like to tell, especially to our younger generation who have a different take on freedom? I mean, see, for us, freedom was something where we don't follow exactly what our parents would tell us. Somewhere we were rebellious if we had to exercise our freedom. But in today's awakened generation, I could say that, they say that not listening to parents is not equating to being disobedient. This is something that I often hear. It's like they do respect you, but they would like to exercise their freedom of choice of whatever they want to do within a certain framework or certain boundaries. What is your take on this?
So, in what I meant to say is to do something without fear, is to
Yes.
do something or everything in a legal framework, in a
Right.
moral framework,
Right.
and doing it in a time where you are entitled to take a decision. At
Right.
times when children are entitled, they do not have that much kind of an experience. They depend on their parents, like what I depended on my parents, what you depended, and so other
Yes.
people. So their decision is valued, virtued, and respected. I
Right.
do not say that is a freedom, that is a choice. So what I meant to say about freedom is that when you have a fearless thing to do, drive a car on the
Yeah.
roads without any fear,
Right.
without a fear that somebody is coming from the opposite direction.
Right.
So if you drive it in a very legal framework, with a moral
Right.
framework, with a moral
Absolutely.
binding on you, I think things are very easy and simple, which I could put, rather than making it as a point of being rebellious just for the heck of it, just my dad said no, so I want to
Yeah.
do it. No,
Yes.
that should not be the priority. That should not be the answer. It's to understand as to why our parents say no or yes to certain things, and then
Absolutely.
making a choice to it. I think that's being just in a very ideal situation for anybody, I feel.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on this. So, the misconstrued youth of today, where freedom is equivalent to being a rebellious, right?
It's very
So,
sad to see that.
yes,
And then they try to do everything and anything which the others or the peer pressure which comes on them try to do it, which should be avoided if they want to. So it's a question of controlling your thoughts, controlling and knowing what is right and wrong. And
absolutely.
to know that what is right and wrong, I think parents do influence and do play a vital role in the individual or children's life.
Right. Absolutely. That was a wonderfully brought about aspect from your side. You were a part of the Clean Ganga project last year.
Yes, ma'am.
So when it comes to the environment and how we are exercising our freedom and polluting the environment where we don't have a conscious thought of, our use and through concept that we have, or, it could be different rituals where we don't follow, something called as a biodegradable concept. And but you guys put in everything together and cleaned the Ganga for us. So where is freedom when it comes to the environment?
I think the government is doing a wonderful job, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you in that. The Clean Ganga was a part of a territorial army, which are a territorial army which conserves the forest, which is being specially, brought in to clean the Ganga. In the same manner, we have a few of these other territorial army battalions who do
Right.
the saplings, who keep on, nursing the plants and growing trees so that the environment is definitely going to improve and change what it was before. Classic example was on the hills of the Dehradun, when the territorial army has really made an effort and changed what was the earlier the mountains, which were absolutely flat and with rocks. Now they have
Right.
become lush greens because of the continuous efforts of the
Awesome.
Indian Army out over there, who ensures and makes sure that we have a lovely balance. And I think environment is one of the most important thing which we have to take care of ourselves. It is
Awesome.
every individual's duty to do it. We should not only depend on let the government do or let the other person do. Guys, we
Right.
have our own duty. Everybody has to be contributing to it in a very each manner, whatever they can the best. Even not loitering is contributing, I would say.
Yes.
So if they just try, if they can't do something, at least they should not undo something. That's the
Exactly.
only thing which I feel where everyone should be following it for their own sake and for the future of the environment as such.
So, right. So I do believe that, you need to have the freedom from cluttering things in the environment.
Yes,
Absolutely. And
yes,
I think that is one of the things that Parijay believes, that, we owe a responsibility towards our environment and also for the future generation. What we enjoyed from our parents, I don't think we're giving that to our next generation.
yep,
So we can now start exercising our freedom to give them what they deserve.
yes,
So
absolutely.
I'd like to invite Ekta on this. Ekta, could you unmute yourself? Yes.
Yes, Seema. So before I start, I would like to invite squadron leader Dr. Umesh Gupta to share few words, and then we all can contribute to the conversation.
Yes.
So, Dr. Umesh, you have to unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay, good. First of all, on this eve of 75th about Azadi, I will wish Happy Independence Day to all of you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Wish you the same, sir.
Wish you the same. Yes, sir. Can I go ahead with a question to you, Dr. Umesh?
Yes.
Right. You being in the Air Force with wings to fly both figuratively and actually. So what kind of a freedom did you enjoy as an individual, and what would your perspective be on what freedom should be?
The freedom, independence has different meaning for different persons.
Right.
For some, it could be that freedom is from poverty, from unemployment, from hunger, from harassment, exploitment. Everyone has different meaning of freedom, azadi.
Yes. Yes.
But many people for the past many years were taking that freedom or azadi as like we have been taught by lyricists like in movies de di azadi hame bina khadg bina dar and many songs like अपनी आज़ादी को हम बुला नहीं सकते सर कटा सकते हैं so that over the period of time that azadi has become like an article to be kept in drawing room as a showpiece.
Right.
But overall, azadi means to that azadi, that what we have got is, it's to ask the questions to ourselves, to the society, to analyze the things, to do the analysis, and to be free to amend the things for a good purpose. That is the actual freedom that has been given to us by our constitution. That is
Yes.
the actual freedom that we have got, what we are enjoying today in today's life. If we ask about the freedom from other persons, like if we ask the freedom from Afghanistan, those people are, some are fighting for freedom from one Taliban rule, and Taliban are
Right.
fighting for the freedom from that foreign rule. So everyone has the freedom of different meaning, but we have got the freedom that is given to us, and that we are very much enjoying our freedom.
So,
I'm
Ekta, would
happy
you
that
like? Yes, please. Please go ahead,
I'm
sir.
very happy that environmentalists are discussing about freedom, independence, and azadi. I'm very happy being a part of your debate. Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. It's a privilege to have you on our show as well. So, coming to the environment, because Parijay believes in freedom for all when it comes to enjoying the environment, to breathe clean air, pure air. And with the COVID situation where we all needed to buy oxygen when we can actually, plant trees, which can give us oxygen free of cost, and which we have left our age-old traditions behind of the Triveni, which is the neem, people, and the banyan. They are one of the most purifying trees that we could find in our environment, and they also give out oxygen, which is of course free of cost. So my question is, what is freedom when it comes to not exercising what we want to do, when we are bound by the society and the norms of the government, where we cannot, you have to have permission to cut down trees, right? So why don't we have permissions, or we don't need permissions to plant trees? Because there are wastelands where we can go and plant trees, but if we want to have trees around where we live in the civic society, we need to have permissions to plant trees. So where is the freedom when it comes to these? And as a doctor, what is the freedom that you exercise with your patients? My question, I hope my question was clear, doctor. Am I audible, Dr. Umesh? Hello?
Might be some network issue.
Yes. Would you like to take on that, Sanjay?
No, it's you have really highlighted a very good point regarding the Triveni, where we would have more of these trees planted. We could breathe natural air more often, which is now polluted to a large extent, especially in cities, in metro cities like Mumbai, where
Right.
the air quality index is dropping, be it
Right.
Delhi, Mumbai, or some of these metros, even Bangalore for that matter. The
Yes.
AQI is really dropping down to such a level that we find people getting sick more often due to these problems of the quality of the air. So in order to avoid these kind of a falling sick, if we have these more often and very generously, we could definitely change the structure of the people who are falling in, and avoid many such options where we had to go for an artificial oxygen to be put into us rather than having the normal oxygen. We do have many of these politicians plant a tree, but the follow-up conviction which is required for the tree to grow up, at least for the next 4 to 5 years, it needs to be nurtured and well
Yeah.
protected from all other miscreants. I think that there is a big shortfall out over there. So had it been that kind of a thing which is well taken care of, that you adopt certain
Right.
place and see to it that for the next 4 or 5 years, you're taking care of the tree so that it becomes an adult, and it takes care, one person taking care of the tree, that tree in
Right.
turn will take care of another 100 persons by giving us a fantastic shade, a fantastic oxygen, and a livelihood for many, I would say.
Right. That's something that you highlighted all about, because a tree is not just about oxygen, a tree is not just about shade, a tree is not just about the fruits and vegetables. I think a tree is a home in itself to various birds, insects. So it can be a home in all itself.
Yeah.
So where
And even some of these
are
fruit,
we? Yes, please continue.
some of these fruits also give livelihood to the people, they earn
Absolutely.
by selling these leaves, the fruits, the flowers, everything. So
Right.
they really, that's what a farmer is. So we have to also be a farmer without doing farming, by nursing and taking care of the plants wherever we try to get an opportunity. Like
So
outside
wonderful.
my factory, I've ensured that we ensure that we have enough plants outside the factory so that it is well aerated, it looks green. Obviously the looks of it also helps us feel very happy, and it mentally also keeps you very joyful here. I would say it has lots and lots of advantages of having a tree for longer runs, and it will help our future generations also in a very, very definite manner.
So wonderful. The point that you made about employment as being one of the aspects of just planting a tree. The fruits and vegetables can also help them earn their livelihood. So that's one of the concepts that even Parijay believes in. I would just like to step in to say that, because it also aims at bringing in livelihood to all these artisans and the women of the backward classes, or who can't come forefront, maybe because they lack literacy, or as I would again reiterate, they lack the freedom to exercise what they want to do to earn a livelihood. They have to depend on, the family or the male members in their family to earn the livelihood in whatever little they get. They are not able to contribute to the finances, so they don't have the freedom to go and earn a livelihood to improve their economy and the economic status within the family. So that way, I think Parijay is doing a good job. So likewise, I'm sure there are millions of other organizations who have the same vision. So I think everyone needs, that kind of a freedom. So can we all come together to, help people to exercise their freedom? Like, as you said, within the framework of legalities, within the framework of your morals, and within the framework of social responsibilities.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a fantastic job which you all are doing, and hats off to somebody who's doing this very voluntarily. People would think up and talk about it as, "Arey, what you all are doing?" But no, you all are doing a fantastic job which will be well executed. When well executed, it has given livelihood to everybody whom you just spoke about it. And yes, I stand committed to this through this
Right.
past, that yes, for future it will always be my endeavor, which
Right.
I've been doing in the past too.
And it's so nice. It's so nice that you have planted a lot of trees around your factory in order to ensure a good environment around it.
That's
So
right.
we'd like to invite you to be a part of our Triveni mission.
I would love to.
We could get offline and discuss about it as well. And you
Sure.
could invite your friends, your family to be a part of our mission. It's open to all.
Of course, I would love to do that.
Yes, sure. I'd have Ekta to speak to you to the forum about Parijay's mission on this.
Yes. Thanks, Major Sanjay. Thanks for coming to our show. So first of all, I'm really very sorry, Colonel Dayal Singh, he was not able, and Dr. Umesh also, they
Yes.
both are facing the connection issue, and they are not able to connect actually.
Exactly.
So the way you are planting the plants, and you shared that you have planted a lot of trees around surrounding your factory. So I think it's a wonderful thing. We all must learn. So wherever there are manufacturing units, they must do it in a right way. So whatever we are taking from the environment, we have to give back, and that is what the sustainable life is.
That's right.
So give and take. in our relationships and everything. Yes, we talk about give and take, you know. रिश्तों में रहता है ना कि उसने मुझे ये गिफ्ट दिया तो मुझे ये गिफ्ट देना है, but why we think the same way, you know, why उसने मुझे 100 का गिफ्ट दिया तो मुझे 150 का देना है, मुझे 200 का देना है. But when we, you know, consider our natural resources or something, then we say that okay, fine, I will take the fruits, I will take the food, I will take air, I will take water, but what in return? Nothing in return. We are doing this job, so we must get this salary. So nature is giving us so many things free of cost, and what we are giving back, we are just spoiling it. So I think this is the tragedy, and we must think that how we should return.
But like
And
people
this
like
is
you
the
are doing a
very
wonderful job.
important thing.
When you are doing such a wonderful job of undoing the wrongs of so many people.
No, you know, it's about creating the awareness and connecting with the right people. If we, you and me connect, you know, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, this is the way that we should work. So, you know, I hope, I think, I believe, it's not just a thought, but I'm sure, I believe it, that a lot of people are doing their best, and the need is to connect with all of them.
I agree to that.
So once this network, yes, so many times, you know, अकेले चलते हैं तो थक जाते हैं रास्ते में. उस वक्त अगर कोई हाथ मिल जाता है तो हम और लंबा चल सकते हैं.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
So this is the way. So this is the way to go to a long journey.
That's true.
Small steps हम चल सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर लंबी जर्नी पे जाना है तो we need the company, and that's what Parijay is doing.
I think Parijay doesn't need these kind
We
of
are connecting instead of.
lovely, you're doing a lovely job.
So instead of going alone, going together,
Yes.
growing
Yes.
together,
Absolutely.
and building. Yes.
Absolutely.
Going
I-
together and growing. Yes. It's not an individual effort. It must be the team effort.
Yes. Yes.
So if we talk about Triveni, so no doubt these 3 plants, neem, people, and burger, they need huge space. So, and right now, whenever we talk about these plants, everybody says that, no, कैसे इसको लगाएंगे, ये बहुत बड़े हो जाएंगे, बाद में constructions में problem आता है, ठीक है, जो buildings हैं उनको नुकसान होगा. So these are the point of views.
Correct.
So we have to find out the solutions. It's not only the Parijay, it's not only the Ekta Bansal, not only the Seema, or not only Major Sanjay. It's for all of us. So we have to find out that what we can do. We have to find out the space, or we can go for the potted plants, whatever the solution is. So we have to come together and find out the solution. I think we can discuss few here.
I think, you know what, a very simple way that these plants also, if we make a project about planting these in a bonsai method, घर पे भी बहुत काम में आ सकते हैं तीनों काम.
Yes. So उसमें भी कुछ issues रहते हैं कि हम growth को restrict कर रहे हैं. You know, some religious points are also connected to
Oh.
it. So हाँ, अगर हम उसको लें एक scientific point of view से देखें, तो हमें ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत है और ऑक्सीजन के लिए पौधे लगाए जाने चाहिए. You know, ecosystem is not from a single plant or single organism.
No, absolutely. Right.
So yes. So right now our concentration is only on the aesthetic plants.
Yes, unfortunately.
NASA approved air pure. Yes, unfortunately, you know, we need flowers. We want to eat the fruits. We want to eat the vegetables, but we want to grow flower plants, aesthetic
Yes.
plants. You know? So we must think about it, what we want.
Yeah.
So one thing more I would like to add,
Tell me, ma'am.
you know, when we plant the fruit trees, so a lot of people get employment also.
Yep.
So I have seen the plants growing in front of my house, that jamun, mango, and one more amla. So whenever the fruit comes, so many people pluck that fruit and sell it also.
Yeah. So in a way,
And
the fruit has given everything. The tree has given everything. In the daytime, it does give oxygen to us. It does give in the daytime, gives a
Yes.
livelihood, or it feeds somebody's hunger. It gives
Yes.
shade to somebody who's tired. Yeah, it
Yes.
gives
Yes.
the dead branches gives a fuel for the fire to be heated up, be
Exactly.
it warming up
Yes.
food or be cooking food in a
Right.
very natural manner. So every part of it is utilized in such a appropriate way that it is useful. And if you really look into this seriously to it, it's going to be helpful for us only for the long run.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So one more perspective that people can earn from it. As I think Seema, we have conducted a session with the CA Sangeeta Khanna.
Right.
She has mentioned that she has planted the Rita trees.
Ah,
Okay.
Rita trees because Rita is very expensive these days.
Right.
And you know how she motivated the people? She motivated them that you grow the Rita tree and whatever the fruit you will get, you are free to sell it.
oh,
Okay.
great.
Wonderful.
Yeah, this is another way of motivation. So
Absolutely.
yes, so those people took care of those plants and now they are growing and they are getting employment from that.
Awesome.
Wow, wow, very nice. They need a guidance. Basically, they need a direction to be told what to be done. So somebody who gives a direction, like people who are doing, y'all are doing a fantastic job, and people who are knowledgeable regarding this should give a direction and guidance to people, so people can go and take a path. Because many people look forward for a proper guidance to be told, because they would not
Yes.
know the importance of any certain things unless they are told about it. जैसे अभी आपने त्रिवेणी कहा, इतने 3 बहुत बढ़िया प्लांट है, लेकिन लोगों को ये मालूम नहीं है कि उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस
अहमियत.
क्या
जी,
है, अहमियत क्या
बिल्कुल.
है.
The
Right.
other the other thing that I would like to say is that जैसे आपने बोला मुझे संजय, that many people want to do but they don't have the proper guidance. So like you have our farmers, and prior to this we had a session. We had one Mr. Umendra Dutt from
Kheti Virasat
that
Mission.
was Kheti Virasat Mission. So he was also talking about, the confusion, or you could say the corruption, the civic corruption of the civilization that we have. So here, I think we all would step in where, the farmers are actually the producers, and we are the end users. But in the middle, the ones who are making, the maximum profit are the vendors in the middle, the retailers or the wholesalers. So somewhere we can give the farmers their freedom, their entitlement to the kind of efforts they put in to bring in the crops for us to use. So somewhere I think we need to exercise our own conscious thoughts towards what we can give back to the farmers when they can provide that food on our plate that we have. So we can awaken that conscience, and we can start some movement in a small way where we can guide them to how they can sell it directly in the market rather than go through some middlemen all the time, or not allow the middlemen to exploit them all the time. Either ways.
Yes.
So what would your thoughts be on this?
Oh, you're absolutely correct. That's an ideal situation if it would have happened. There are many pros and cons to it, which I'm sure you know about it. But yes, people are really moving towards the one which you ideally discussed, direct from
Ekta, would you
farmers to the market.
mute yourself? Yeah, thanks.
That's the reason you have the farmers market also coming up at
Right,
various places where farmers take their produce and sell it directly to the customers, where
absolutely.
they have these middlemen, out of their purview, so that
Mm,
both are benefited. The farmers would get a better price, and the
yes,
purchasers like you and me would get also a better purchase at a lower price, because the in-betweens are intending to make their
yes,
own money, which is a business for them. So I don't think so they're wrong in that. But if that link could be detached and you could have a direct connection, it
yes,
would really save a lot of things, and the farmers in turn would be very motivated to do some things more for them. Otherwise, their motivation is definitely not that high, because they don't get the returns as high as what they sow in or
exactly,
they toil in. Yeah.
exactly,
So if they
exactly.
get a good returns, I'm sure they're going to be able to give it back, because I think farmer is the friend of the soil,
Right.
and he knows what is best for his soil or what grows out over there, which will
Right.
make things more good for him in turn. Here.
Absolutely. Because nothing can price the kind of hard work and toil that he puts into to growing the
Yes,
crop.
yes.
Not even the price that we put on the fruits and vegetables that he gives
Yes,
us.
yes.
Right. Anyone in the audience would like to connect with us, would like to ask any questions to Major Sanjay, to Ekta, or to anyone in the forum? I'd like to invite anyone in the audience. You could either unmute yourself and ask, or put your question in the chat box. Follow me. Ms. Alka?
Yes. Seemaji, I'm having some network issues here.
Right. Sure. No problem, follow me. No problem, that's fine. Yes. So, Major Sanjay, I'm so sorry we don't have our other guests to give you the right kind of a camaraderie that you always experience being high in the army, the high energy that you all have. So what is it that you experience when you're on the war front?
Well, it's a different feeling, ma'am.
Mhm.
You're in different. Even when you wear a uniform, you have to be a different person altogether. You are
Yeah.
just not yourself. You have to think about yourself the last. You have to think about the country the first, the people whom you command the second, and about yourself the last. So
Right.
when you do that, when you wear uniform, you have a different. We are actually not. Everyone is a different person altogether, because with that uniform comes responsibility.
Absolutely.
With that uniform comes a lot of faith where people put in everyone. Be it an army or be it even for that matter a police guy. When he wears a uniform, he comes with a lot of responsibility and a baggage to it, which has to be done in a very just manner. And as I said, under the legal framework and the moral framework. So it's a training which we undergo, which make ourselves very capable of situations, of handling any situations, I would say, which everyone and anyone can do that if they go undergo the training. And they should do it by heart. I'm sure there are better people,
Mhm.
better things than even what we do. Like, for example, if we are doing and securing our borders, you and Ekta ma'am are doing a wonderful job in having the environment being well balanced. Where
And I think everyone is contributing in some way.
people are building buildings and towers and cutting trees in order to make homes for everyone. Y'all are really pushing and making all efforts to make things balanced in such a manner that we as a livelihood could have a better livelihood for us, for our future, and for every one of us. I think even the army thinks in the same manner. That's the reason whenever, I don't know if you have been able to visit any of these units or battalions where we have big places,
Mhm.
you will find most of the places in the army are well kept, well groomed with lots of
Yes.
trees, well
Yes.
lawns, where people are ensured that we maintain greenery in and around and everywhere, and we
Right.
plant trees without being even told to us, because we know the importance and we have been taught the importance of how important it is going to be for us and for our future also.
Right.
So army maintains every battalion, every unit by having it absolutely well manicured, I would say. Sometimes, a perfect blend of having a building as well as having a lawns or trees, or even for that fruits planted for the unit battalion to eat their own grow. Whatever we grow, we eat at times also.
You're
So
absolutely right on that. Uh, I do remember as a child that whenever I visit my uncle in his army quarters, there was, I mean, the very feel of entering an army quarter would give you so much of bliss when it comes to all kind of plants around you, and potted plants, or be it in the lawns, or the kind of trees that surround your pathways.
yes,
So I think any army outfit that you visit, always gives you that lush green, cool, calm, breezy kind of an atmosphere. And that itself is so soothing and so cooling. And I'm sure, and all other units that you have out here, whether it's a vast stretch of land, I don't think you'll find a single patch except when you need it for your training that is off without grass or any kind of greenery or vegetation. So that's something absolutely nice about your army contingents and what you maintain. Would you like to add in more to that?
I would add one thing, Seema.
Yes.
So I will give you an example with Mr. Bassi and NDRF Bathinda has done a beautiful job. So that, Bathinda was considered as desert.
Okay.
And, the plantation done at that location, the whole NDRF area is amazing. Thousands of plants has been planted. And
Fantastic.
in these 10 years, I think it's about 10 years, the whole area is lush green. They are developing the butterfly gardens, herbal gardens,
Wow.
now they are working on the concepts. And the CEO, they are, it's amazing. They are using every waste container to grow the plants. They are multiplying, they are growing. And, the enthusiasm and the way they are maintaining the whole greenery is amazing.
Excellent.
And now, they have, Mr. Bassi has started the initiative to plant at Leh Ladakh also. They have sent, I think, 6 Triveni sets to Leh Ladakh also.
Wow, very nice. Excellent.
So yes, they
have a bigger project coming out there.
Yes. So they are trying to grow these plants in that area also.
I'm sure they'll be able to do that. Where there's a will, there's
Yeah,
always a
they
way.
will. Yes.
So, anyone in the audience, I'm again inviting if there's anyone in the audience who'd like to connect to us. So, shall we conclude this session as of now? If there's one last word that Major Sanjay would like to put in.
Well, I would like to really thank you, first of all, for having me in this group. And y'all are doing a wonderful job. I wish all both good luck in all your endeavors, which you do it in future. And if you have more of these kind of a promotive things, I'm sure that many people would be, wanting to help out and be besides you. And as you rightly said, Ekta ma'am, साथ में चलेंगे तो जिंदगी और वक्त भी ऐसा चला जाएगा, कट जाएगा, मालूम भी नहीं पड़ता और काम होते रहेंगे.
जी बिल्कुल.
साथ चलेंगे तो दूर तक जाएंगे.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
जी.
Thank you very much and wishing you all good luck for every future thing, whichever you all do. If there's anything more which I can do it, I would be more than proud and happy to help you in that.
Thank you so much. It's a heartfelt gratitude from all of us at Parijay for you having taken this time out and joining us on this panel. Extremely sorry for any inconvenience caused from our part.
Nothing.
But it was a pleasure having you, Major Sanjay, and lovely with all your inputs that you said. It's a 360 degree that you gave us.
Nothing,
Wonderful. As always, your experience speaks, your knowledge speaks. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for having come on board. We'd love to have more sessions with you, and please offline do join our missions as well.
Sure.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Seema. Thank you, Ekta ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'd like to take your leave.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank my audience as well for staying tuned to us. I would not know some names, but I would definitely love to thank you all for being there, for being present with us. And if you would like to connect with us, you can connect with us on our Facebook page or reach out to Ekta or reach out to me, and we'd be happy to have you on board with us. Maybe, you could have sessions with us or be a part of our mission offline as well. So please do feel free. We'll just put up a couple of links in the chat box. Ash, can you share links in the chat box for them to reach out to us? Yes, Ekta, you could do that.